It's on. Oh yeah, the recording is on.
Cool. So how you doing, man?
Uh, Pretty good. Pretty good actually. Yes.
Yo, you look really
Was
tired. Did you not sleep yesterday?
I slept, but I slept at like 5 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know what that is.
Yeah.
I was just watching this thing right before we got on. Was this thing about coffee? Are you still drinking a lot of coffee?
Not a lot of. I've switched from like regular espresso to the blonde espressos over the time,
Yeah.
uh, and I'm controlling it. Yes. I've stopped all the. I've stopped drinking all the energy drinks. So no, not that kind of caffeine. Just from
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah, cause I mean, I already knew it, but um, you sometimes you forget that caffeine is actually a drug.
It is. It is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I have been a coffee addict actually.
Yeah, what's that like? I mean, I understand addiction. I have problems with addiction too, with all
Caffeine,
sorts of other stuff. But
caffeine addiction is a very unique one. It's like very idiosyncratic in itself. Caffeine addiction. It's
yeah,
very different from the if it's like one of the hardcore drugs or alcohol or nicotine.
yeah,
Caffeine is one of those substance which is it becomes part of your body.
yeah, you become dependent on it,
Yeah, it
and that's
becomes
why
part of
when
itself. It behaves. It's like it makes you behave. It wakes you up. It has certain kind of power on you.
yeah, it's like a very very low form of meth.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It like it keeps you very focused. You
It
want to
does.
just do things,
Yeah.
but then when you're done, you kind of just like I kind of want some more coffee,
Yep.
and I think because coffee is so regular,
I think.
so normal that like no one really bats an eye on it.
Yep, yep. It's good for you. It's good for your heart in like small amounts, but
Yeah.
not too much. That's not a good thing.
In like green tea levels. I think I'm gonna start moving over to green tea again because
Yeah.
coffee is yeah.
No, no more than 1 cup a day. That's it. Uh,
Yeah.
Only 1 cup. And it's very hard. It's very hard to keep it just 1 cup.
To get rid of it, right? Yeah, I was watching um a little bit earlier and how this guy tried to he quit coffee or caffeine for 3 months.
Yeah.
And at the end of the 3 months, when he had a cup of coffee, um, he felt like,
Superman.
you know, it's kind of like I mean I don't think you've ever smoked cigarettes before, but when it's almost like cigarettes where um, the first time you smoke it, right, you get this fucking crazy head high. You're like, oh shit, but
Yep.
then when you keep smoking it and keep smoking, after a while, it's just you don't even really get that feeling anymore. Maybe a little bit, but
Yeah.
um, you just feel like you keep needing to have it
Have
to
it. Yeah.
because you want to get the high again. But I mean, that's what addiction is. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
No. I stopped using coffee to get myself up, to get myself to the point where I can activate.
yeah,
Whenever necessary. Yeah. That's when I started realizing that this is something which I am dependent on. If I don't have it, there's uh, there's a difference in my behavior
when
when I
because
have coffee and when I don't have coffee in the morning.
yeah, of course, like I
Yeah.
said, it's a low form of
Yeah.
meth.
You need more. You need more like every day. If someone is an addict, it's not like it stops at like 3 cups or 4 cups. It keeps getting up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're so used to being at that productive level.
Level. Yeah.
I think that anything else, you're like, ah, shit, like I can't think right now. I can't, um, do anything or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe you should try getting off of it for like a
I
month or
I
so.
did.
Yeah.
There was a 1 month where I was like I didn't buy any coffee. I was like I bought a coffee machine though, but didn't bought any coffee. Yeah.
How'd you feel?
It was difficult. It is difficult. Living without it, it's very difficult.
I mean,
Your
but like,
focus.
how was your day to day
So
feeling? You know?
whenever I would start reading something or start working on something, that it's a habit that first of all I have a cup of coffee by my side.
Mhm.
It's always it's so embedded in me that it sometimes it's a physical gesture just to grab for it.
Yeah,
Just,
that's
just
why I
to-
try to just have water all the time. At
yeah,
least.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Then I started keeping coconut water beside me. Actually, that's what I learned from you.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
wish I could. I wish I could drink
yeah.
coconut water again. It's so
I drank a
expensive.
lot of coconut water and lime juice. Yeah, lime juice with coconut water.
Yeah.
That helped me actually. Yeah. More hydrated you are,
This
the
is
more.
when you were off the coffee, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
caffeine.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
I'm off coffee. Yes.
How did your I guess how did your emotions feel? You know, how did your
Uh,
outlook
rather
at
than
life
rather
change?
than emotions, it was more about focus. Always about focus.
Okay. So it didn't
Uh,
really affect your emotions going off of it.
no, 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 no. Uh,
Okay.
not that much into it didn't manipulate or like enhance my moods or emotions, but yeah, the mood of focus. When you need to focus on something, when you want to think about it, if it's a script, if it's a book, uh, uh, if it's an idea that you're thinking about it, that's where I was realizing when I'm learning my lines. I'm going for it all the time. You must have seen me in stars.
Mm-hmm.
Stars. Uh,
Yeah,
always.
you are always going to Starbucks every single break. You're like, hey, food, let's go to Starbucks. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay,
Uh,
man, I'll go with you.
yep. Uh, yeah, it was always about focus. It meant my focus, and then I learned to do without it. Uh,
Yeah, that's
and
what the this
when I
person was trying to do.
Benedict Cumberbatch actually went through the similar thing, I think, in Sherlock Holmes.
He gave up coffee, or
No, he didn't drink coffee. He used to drink coffee.
yeah,
Uh,
so he stopped drinking
yeah,
for
he
the
stopped
role.
drinking coffee, especially when he was learning lines and when he has to deliver those lines, because
Mm-hmm.
he does it in very. It's a very fast pace for a character like Sherlock
Yeah,
Holmes.
that I think that makes sense because when you're, I mean, this happens to me, and I don't know. I was just thinking, I don't know if coffee and not being on coffee is related to ADHD at all or whatever, but I don't know if that's different. I wish I
Yeah,
can. I wish I had some doctor friends to talk to, but I don't know anything about ADHD. But like when I don't drink coffee, uh, well, even whenever my brain like bounces fucking everywhere, you know, and then like you said,
flares up.
when you have that caffeine, you feel very focused on one
Yep.
thing, which for me, I'm not used to. I kind of like the ideas bouncing around. That's I guess that's part of like my artistic way or whatever thinking. But I get it for if because he understood that Benedict for the role of Sherlock Holmes, because Sherlock Holmes is thinking, 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 all because he's trying to solve like 100 puzzles at the same time, and
Yeah, yeah.
it makes sense because if Sherlock Holmes the character were to have coffee, I think he would get his mind stuck on one thing, and I don't think that's something that he wants.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, because he'll fixate too much on this one thing, and I guess that's the bad thing too. Because sometimes that's like for me, I don't like fixating on one thing
Yeah,
because I like allowing outside things to come in. You know, embracing whatever the fuck's going on.
yeah.
But
I just wanted to get my dependency off of it.
yeah,
Where
you
I find
still
my
feel like you're dependent on it?
no, no, not anymore.
You sure?
But
You're still drinking one a day.
yeah, still one a day.
Yeah.
But that's good than 14 a day.
Oh shit. I
Yeah,
mean, that's like me and weed. Like uh, they say it's not addictive.
yeah.
Weed, but I feel like I can't function without it. I don't know. So it's like the same vein, I think, or
Concept.
same. Yeah, but I don't know. They say it's not addictive, but
There
whatever.
are
I
there
don't
are
know.
some people who I've seen like they are dependent on THC and caffeine at the same time. You know that?
Yeah, I hated doing it. Like when I was smoking and then I drank coffee, I was like, it was weird because the coffee made me really
Yeah,
focused, but the weed made me like see everything. So they were competing against each other, and I was just like, I
yeah. They
can't
do. It's
focus.
like
I was like, but I can't.
you get high, and when you realize, okay, time is passing a lot than I want
Yeah,
to, that's when you're like, all right, hit me with this peanut juice. Where's the
the
where's the,
peanut juice.
hey,
What the fuck?
the peanut juice of Popeye the Sailor Man. You know
Oh,
the
spinach.
yeah.
Sorry, I think
It's
said peanut.
it's like that. It's when you wanna get out of something from a downer or a mood which was just like making you slow. That's
Yeah.
when you go for it. It's like okay, that's the thing that will wake me up, that will bring me out of this.
Oh yeah, that is true, huh? Because caffeine is usually an upper and weed is usually a
Yep.
downer. Yeah. Well, I guess that makes sense of why I felt fucked up when I was like, I I don't know what to do. Like my brain is looking
Yeah.
in one direction, but it's looking all over. And it's like I can't.
You
This is
know,
fucking crazy.
coffee at the right time can do wonders. Like if you are on a set for 7 or 8 hours and or 12 hours, and when you hit that like 6 hour threshold,
Yeah.
that's where you can have it. Not at the beginning of the schedule.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But then, what I was just listening to, uh, caffeine, because of that focus on unnatural times, that's what caused, um, I guess, humans to uh, move faster
it did.
in like the evolution of technology and stuff. Because we were always, I think, before caffeine. I'm not true. I'm not an expert, but before caffeine, um, we were we can only do things during the day.
Yep. Yeah.
Like we had no energy at night. We had no way to focus after.
Focus.
We were farmers, and farmers are usually handling a bunch of different things at a time.
Yep.
But once they discovered caffeine, they're like, "Oh shit, I can work throughout the night." And
Right.
then you're focused on this one idea, and now you're drinking coffee, and you have more coffee, and then more ideas, more ideas, more ideas, and then that's when the wheels started turning for humanity.
Yep.
And like, look at where we're at now. I don't know when they found out coffee, but
They should
uh,
have stopped with coffee.
they, I don't know. I sometimes I feel like we didn't have coffee. I mean, it'd be cool. Like I feel like if we didn't discover coffee, we would still be living in day night cycles.
Yeah.
No one would be up at night, or I don't know. It's a weird thing to think about. And
It is. It is. It is.
yeah,
I've seen people
coffee.
who are like addicted with caffeine pills. That's the worst addiction of caffeine,
Yeah,
actually.
because they want just the straight caffeine. And I
Yeah.
think that's why people they drink like Red Bull or other energy drinks instead, because those are higher concentrations of caffeine.
Caffeine. Yep.
Because coffee, usually you make it with boiling water or really hot water, and you gotta, take your time with it, whatever. But Red Bull,
Yeah.
you can just boom, and go straight to your fucking brain, and you're ready to go. And
Yeah.
and
It comes with sugar as well, actually. Yeah. It's not alone.
oh yeah, and sugar. So because you're super focused and you have all this energy from sugar, you're like, let's fucking
Yeah. Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Yes. It's
But
ready to go. Yeah.
the one thing I just thought about is whenever I had caffeine before or any high amount of drinks, I would feel that energy spike for the first hour
Yeah.
or however long, and then after that, though, I would crash.
Yeah.
I wonder. I wonder what that is. I was like, why some people they can have coffee and it keeps them focused for a while, but
Yep.
I've known some people that they've had coffee and it would make them sleepy instead, you know. Yeah, I that happens to me whenever I have coffee. I'm focused for the first hour, but
Yeah.
after that I just want to take a nap. Like I feel like I'm done for the day. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe because my body just processes it so fast or something, or
Uh, that could be a thing. The
I don't
other
know.
could be that in that 1 hour, it might have exhausted your brain so much that after the,
Maybe that's a possibility.
the possibility. Yep.
Yeah, because
It doesn't stay when you get it. The usual amount is like 3 to 4 hours, maximum 4 hours. Then you start feeling back to normal again. Uh,
uh, not for
after
me though. Like,
no,
I mean, I haven't observed my coffee. Like, I haven't had coffee in like 2 days, and I
yeah,
did wake up this morning with a headache. So I wonder if that could be it. I'm not sure,
yeah,
cause I woke up with a headache. I felt dehydrated, and because I know caffeine is supposed to help you
yeah,
with headaches, and I had the idea, it's like, oh man, I should just have some coffee. But then I think like, no, it's just a fucking headache. Maybe yesterday, um, I don't know, I got sick or something, or I slept
yeah.
wrong. But I think that makes sense that if
Dehydrates you because it makes your kidney process more liquid in your body, you know.
yeah, it
So
makes you want to pee
yeah,
faster, and you
you
just
pee faster. It like enhances the metabolism as well.
yeah,
Yep. Uh, that's why it's yeah, it gets out of the system faster as well if you
yeah,
want. Yeah.
and that yeah, that might be a reason. I'm gonna well, I don't want to start drinking coffee again because I'm actually trying to get off of it like for good and just start
Yeah.
drinking green tea again. But I don't know, maybe that is why I got a headache and because you're dependent on it and your body's like, give me fucking caffeine or I'm gonna make your brain hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. It
Caffeine
gives
is
you
so weird.
headaches. It gives you chills sometimes, night chills if you are too much dependent on it.
Yeah.
Stop taking it. You'll see some physical signs. Yeah, very amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, Big one, yeah. Thank God, but thank God for blonde espressos. I'm glad that Starbucks has started the blonde
I
espressos.
mean, what is a blonde espresso?
Blonde is the diluted version of the normal ones. Yeah. It's just enough to give you an illusion of coffee.
Is
Yeah.
there any caffeine in it?
There is some caffeine in it, some
Yeah.
caffeine. Yeah. Very, very minute.
Well, I mean, the Americana is already diluted, so because I think,
Starbucks?
well, yeah, well, because the American coffee
Yeah.
is basically um like a espresso, but then double the amount with water
Water. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it's already diluted at that point, and now I guess
Yeah.
over time we're realizing that caffeine is kind of fucking. Let's make some
Yeah.
blondes. Let's make it even more diluted, and
More diluted. Yeah.
next thing you know, it's just gonna be can I have a drop of coffee like poot, and it just oh that'd
Yeah.
be pretty smart. Just like a little drop of caffeine in your water.
Just to give you the smell, actually, for me, the smell works most of the time.
Yeah, I think.
Drink it before and just like smelling it, that gives me the thing that okay, it's there. It's I am sensing it.
But then you have to drink it though.
Yeah, then you have to drink it, of
Yeah,
course.
because that's why they say when you wake up and you smell coffee in the morning, like it's of course it wakes you up because your brain's like caffeine, give me that caffeine. You know, I don't know, just eat fucking food. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm also starting to get used to intermittent fasting
Intermittent fasting.
when basically I only eat from like 12 to 6 or something like that, and I don't eat any other time.
Like between 12 to 6, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m.?
12 p.m., 6 p.m. Yeah, 12 to 800, 1800. But
How about breakfast though? Do you still have breakfast in it or not?
no, I'll wake up and do my morning routine, walk my dog, and do
Yeah.
stuff around the house. It What I've noticed is that I what I did notice the first, I think I've been intermittent fasting now for 2, 3 weeks. At first, the first week,
Yeah.
oh my fucking god, it makes you so fucking angry. You're just like, I want to fucking eat. Oh, you get your body goes into this fucking survival mode, and you get angry. And you're like, I want to eat, but like, I know, um, because we were talking about before how outside adversities is what makes a person stronger
Yep.
and stuff like that. And I started thinking, like, if you think back to when humans were hunting, and we didn't get to eat all day, and or some days we wouldn't even get to eat because we failed to hunt, and
Yeah. Yeah.
but and I think that's why back then humans, well, with nutrition now and stuff, we get to live longer, but you get to live healthier if you're
Yeah.
not like eating all the time, because I think we said it before, like, the conveniences that we make are making us weak as humans. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um
It's like the animals whose metabolism works very fast. Those are the ones who die faster. They have the shorter amount of
yeah,
span. Yeah.
like hummingbirds, if they don't eat because they're
Yeah.
expending so much energy, if they don't eat in 2 days, they can die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I think in like 2 hours or something like that. I'm not sure. I was watching some documentaries and I don't remember. But yeah, imagine you're expending so much energy that you have to eat all the time. But now, as humans, we're
Mhm.
not expending a lot of energy, but we're intaking even more.
More.
So
Yes.
our body is our bodies are like giving up. Like, what's the point of living longer and stronger if we can just eat all the time?
Yeah.
You know? So that
Yeah.
made sense. But what I was trying to get at before was when I started fasting and I started feeling that hunger and that um
Yeah.
um it motivated me to do things again.
Yeah.
Right?
How about after 6? Like, would you feel hungry? Would you get like the cravings for like night snack and
Oh
stuff?
hell yeah, I still do. I
Yeah.
it is, I don't know. Every time I think about it, I'm like, don't fucking fuck this up, Henry. Just don't fucking eat. Like, I mentally yell at myself, like, don't fucking eat. Just be a
What?
fucking
Uh,
beast, and
oh,
you can get through it. And I get through it every night. I mean, I hate it, but then I wake up in the morning. I'm ready to do things, and
yeah.
that's when I started this podcast up again. That's when I started having all these ideas of doing all these things. I changed my room around. Well, you can't see because
Yeah.
I put this fucking thing up, but
The backdrop.
no,
Uh,
so my computer used to be under my bed, which is right here, but now it's on the outside, and uh, I can show you that later. But
all right. All
it's
right.
just I just put it up there to hide what's under the bed. But um, yeah, and then it started making me realize that when some motivated people or people that you well, at least that I look up to, and when they say stay hungry,
Yeah.
um, like I understand it. Like, no offense to anybody who can't afford food, or or living in impoverished conditions. I mean, I sound like this is a first world problem, sort of. But um, yeah, when you're hungry, you're motivated to do something
Yeah.
because it triggers your instinct to work, right?
Work.
So
Yeah.
you can earn food. It's basically when you're hungry and you're working, as we are now. This is sort of like the way we hunt.
Hunt. Yeah.
And when we hunt, we're actually like hunting for money. so then we can buy food. But yeah, once I stopped eating as much, and even when I eat like small portions now. Like,
Yeah.
if I were to, I don't know, I guess for you relatable at Starbucks, if I were to have uh like one of those sandwiches or whatever, I would eat half that and then the other half a couple hours later, and that's all I would need for the day. And it helps, and the hunger is kind of like when I'm hungry, I get that same feeling of
Hmm.
when I had a cup of coffee.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
a very thin line between like it's a disease also. It's called anorexia.
yeah.
And anorexia and intermittent fasting. I think there seems to be very thin line between them, between both of the
I mean,
scenarios.
it could be.
Anorexia is like the extreme side of
Yeah,
intermittent
cause
fasting,
cause I'm not an expert, but anorexia isn't it? I mean, I don't know anything about it. I just know that it's when people.
Person just stops eating because they feel that they don't need to, because it mostly relates to their relationship with their physique, where
Yeah,
they, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So for me, I mean, it is kind of the same. I did start fasting so I can lose weight again. But well, yeah, maybe you're right. There is a very thin line
And
being like I'm not sure if I'm anorexic yet. If
as
I
long
let's
as you are
say
having a good breakfast, that's the best thing. The first thing, if
yeah,
a person is having a like a nice amount of nutritious breakfast,
yeah,
that should take care of everything, almost everything. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I hope it's not anorexia. Maybe I can talk to my therapist about that. Um, yeah, maybe I will. But yeah, I don't know. Intermittent fasting has helped me at least in uh staying focused and wanting to
It does. It does.
do
Whenever you
things,
want to work, whenever I want to work, actually, I don't go for like heavy foods
Yeah.
and the things which will make me feel like I'm stuffed up.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I
yeah,
remember when I was on set, and like when you're on set
yeah,
and you work kind of
mhm,
early in the morning, sometimes you would have breakfast. They have
yeah,
food there for you.
yeah, yeah,
The breakfast is good, because
yeah,
it gives you energy throughout the day. But once you have that lunch, and if you eat too much afterward, you're like, oh fuck,
yeah,
like you don't want to do anything anymore because
yeah,
let's say if we're doing it right, you're in the morning, you have your food to go on the hunt, which is what we do, which is work. You
yeah.
start hunting for a couple hours, and then you have that midday lunch, and in your brain, you're like, I did my hunt. I'm
That's it.
satisfied for the day.
Yeah.
And I understand why I think it's maybe because in America we're so used to huge portions and stuff. So whenever we eat lunch or breakfast, it has to be this fucking meal.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Oh, about the portions, yes, the American portions are huge for me actually. Uh,
yeah. I mean, for me, they are now. When I
yeah,
started this fasting thing, for the first week, I from what I remember, I think I did pretty good. But then on the weekend, I was like, I'm gonna have a cheat day. I'm gonna do so. I ordered like a Wendy's meal, just a chicken sandwich,
yeah.
fries. Oh, and then I ordered some chicken nuggets, of course, and then a drink, and all that. Normally, before I used to just eat all that, no problem, and then I would still be hungry.
Oh,
This time when I ate it,
yeah,
I had a hard time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, this is so much fucking food, and then it made me realize, like, shit, we eat a lot of fucking food.
That yeah,
Like,
that's not necessary. That we don't actually need.
yeah,
Uh, that happens. Yeah, that happens.
and it's the
That
sec.
happens. That
It.
happens when you reach that threshold. Like when people get hungry, they'll eat uh, like you'll start eating and then you'll get full.
Yeah,
If you're too much hungry and you want to eat a lot of food, all right, but you won't be able to actually.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like you'll take three, four, 5 bites and that's it. You're
yeah.
done.
Because over time, your stomach shrinks. I know that, and
Yeah,
I think my stomach shrank, and this weekend, like my mom made this Vietnamese soup, and
Oh yeah,
she offered me something. It's like, can I just have a little bit? And of
yeah.
course, she gave me a little bit, but a little bit in her terms was still
A
a
lot.
fucking bowl, like a huge bowl. And I'm not gonna not eat it because it's good food. But after I ate it, oh my god, I felt like complete shit. It's just like my stomach was just fucking bloated. I felt so tired. I felt demotivated. I didn't want to do anything. I felt like I just wanted to sleep the rest of the day,
Yeah,
which is nice if it's the weekend or something. But
yeah.
the feeling of being demotivated, um, and just not feeling uh like at my best, I was just like, oh man. And if you think about it, let's say we're out in the wild. I keep going back to the wild, but if we're back in the wild and we're full like that and you're lethargic
Yeah.
and a fucking, you know, a, another predator comes after you, like, oh shit, you can't defend yourself. You're like, oh fuck it, just kill me,
Yeah.
But if you were still hungry, you would have at least some sort of drive to go and uh, there's a few comedians that,
It's actually whenever we are working nowadays, we are not hunting, like we are not active physically as much as we'd like to be in those wild days.
yeah,
Uh, but I think we need more mental energy, rather than more physical energy.
well,
We
the
want to be-
physical,
yeah,
the more better shape you in, the more blood flow and you know that goes to
yeah,
your brain. So it
yeah,
each of them goes in tandem. Well, I mean, for me, the more physically fit I am, the more brain power I have.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
if I'm out of shape or if I'm eating too much, my brain shuts down and is like, okay, you don't have to work anymore. You successfully had your food. You don't have to do anything. So relax.
yeah.
But when I'm hungry, like I said, even though I have those like fuck, I want to eat, but I think that's just because I'm still getting used to intermittent fasting. But my
Our brain
brain
uses like about, I
is
think,
firing.
65% of the nutrition that goes into our body.
Yeah,
Almost like majority of it goes to the brain, uh, to neurons, the
yeah.
cells that are working there. So I wonder, like, we should have a separate stomach for our brain, just to feed that.
That'd be that'd be cool,
Yeah, yeah,
but
that would be amazing.
that might not be good because then our brains would be fucking this big, and our
Oh yeah,
bodies will be this tiny. That's what aliens look like. Okay, that's why they just feed their brains and not their body. I'm not trying to
right.
be an alien yet.
Yeah, yeah. That's amazing though. Yeah. Speaking of brain food,
Yo,
uh,
oh shit,
how about neuroscience? Are you anywhere in neuroscience?
uh, no. I mean, I want to look into all sciences now. Like I said, my focus is on just learning, and I think because for me, I'm gonna come back to this because I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to do things so I can um like earn more food.
Hmm.
You know, uh, it's like when you're hunting, right? Let's say when we first started this, I
Yeah.
just the first thing I knew how to use is my fists, right?
Yep.
And just my hands or whatever. But then
Yeah. Huh?
as you're hungrier, you start learning more things, and next thing you learn is like, oh, I can use this rock to bash somebody's head in,
Yeah.
and now you earn some food. You're like, oh shit, and you keep going like that, and then that becomes sort of redundant. You're like, how do I hunt better now? You're like, oh, a fucking
Yeah.
spear or a bow and arrow. So I
I
feel
can.
like I feel like it's the same thing when you're just trying to learn more and more. And like I said, you're physically hungry, but you're
Yeah.
also mentally hungry. You just
Yeah.
and I think it's. pretty awesome that when you're in this state,
Yes,
hopefully
yes.
hopefully I'm not anorexic or anything.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't know.
especially I think it's a common thing. Like we usually don't feel like stuffing ourselves up when we want to work on something,
Yeah.
Always go for lighter things and mostly liquid.
And I remember like when people were I was working with people even in LA or before that, and whenever some people they had like a short break, it was always just a little bit of snacks. It's kind of like on set and stuff.
Yeah,
You just have a little bit of snack because
yeah,
if you
that's it.
eat too much, your body becomes satisfied.
Satisfied. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if you keep having that just a little bit of snacks, it kind of gives you a little bit of energy. Like, okay, let's continue. You're still hungry,
Yeah,
but you just have a little bit more energy to keep going.
keep going.
And I remember even in like school, and people would have these lunches, and they would be so small, or these teachers would have it so maybe they just couldn't afford food. I don't know, no offense or anything, but
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense that they would eat so little. Like they would just have, like a little sandwich for lunch, and then they would keep going through the day, and then
Eh,
yeah, so
It's a it's a thing in the desert too. Like the rat who lives in a desert and a rat who lives in a New York subway. There's a difference
yeah,
between
that's
those.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
Because those
The
rats are fat and they don't live long, but they
yeah,
reproduce like crazy.
yeah, yeah. It's a primal thing, I think.
Yeah, they've become feral. Oh, you know about like pigs and stuff? How feral they get?
Pigs,
Yeah,
bro. I Pigs get like what, violent and vicious?
yeah. Do you know any feral pigs like wild boars and
Oh, I know
wild
wild
pigs?
boars.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
yeah.
they're all pigs. They're all the same thing. So there was this. I was watching again. I learned everything from a fucking podcast, but
Pigs are the animal who I won't imagine like they won't be something of a aggressive animals like
they do when
yeah,
they're not in captivity.
okay, when they are in wild.
Yeah, it's the same thing with almost kind of any animal. When they're secure, like us, right? As
Yeah,
humans, we're
yeah,
we're
yeah.
secure in our houses. We have this mindset, but once you start getting in the streets again, or start, I guess, living in the wild again,
Yep.
you sort of become primal again because you're one with nature, but it's the same thing with pigs. Pigs, um, they say within a week, like let's say you had a farm, right? And you had a few pigs.
Yeah.
But if some of those pigs got out
Mm-hmm.
and because you're not feeding them every day, right? Like
Uh-huh.
regular pigs would, because they eat all the time, all day, and they sleep all day.
Yeah.
But once they're out of the pen
Yep.
and they're not getting fed, they become, it's the same thing. They get hungry, and
Uh-huh.
they start turning feral. They start growing hair. They're
Mm-hmm.
not as fat as a normal pig would be because they're hungry. Um, and then
How
they
about
start
like
growing
does
tusks.
does the farm pigs have tusk or do they cut it out?
I I think they have small ones,
Yeah.
right? I think they have tusks, but once they get into the wild,
Yeah.
um, their bodies changes. Their snouts get longer so they can
Mhm.
dig, and then as they're digging, their tusks grow so they can dig even further because they're scourged, and that happens within a week.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and wait, how the fuck did we get on this subject?
Yeah.
I don't even know what we're talking about, but let's just yeah, but yeah, pigs can get feral, and luckily for us as humans, we're like that. We don't get as
Yeah.
fucking crazy
Vicious as them.
uh,
Yeah.
unless you're homeless, which is a different story. But um, yeah, it's crazy
Yep.
how being hungry changes you and how it in a way can, at least for me, has helped me in wanting to do more things.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I guess like in a pig, if I'm just being fed all the time, if I'm just getting fat, if I'm just eating, what's the point of doing anything?
Yes, yes.
You know, that's just in how I am. So um,
It's like you keep putting yourself in a challenging environment,
yeah,
which challenges you constantly. Yeah,
yeah,
and you will mend according to that.
yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, the
Sometimes,
adversity.
yeah,
Yeah.
environment will force you to be like that.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So try to try to stop drinking coffee for like a week or two. See how that does.
I'll try to get off of it. I've
Yeah.
stopped taking coffee, especially when I have something on my hand. That's when I avoid it intentionally.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think it
It's
might
still
help with sleep.
still part of my morning routine, but
Yeah.
I've taken it out from like my work things, where I'm working.
Yeah.
I've already eliminated it from that part actually.
Yeah. I mean, because like I don't know how. Um, I guess I don't know how dependent you are, and I don't know how dependent anyone is, but and it could be extremely difficult for you. Like
It is
some.
it was difficult for me actually
Yeah.
to getting to that 1 cup was actually far. It's a 3 year. It took me 3 to 4 years actually. I
Yeah.
was constantly struggling, going back to it, going back again, and
It's
back to it.
almost it's almost easier to quit cigarettes than coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
I think for me it was. Well, because I never really liked cigarettes. I did it because I don't fucking know why. But yeah, it was easy. Well, for me, it was easy to give up both because I never, I guess,
Nicotine is one of the hardest substance to get off of from
yeah.
actually.
So
Yeah.
maybe it's not, but I mean, I guess that's according to science, but I think it's, well, I don't know how similar it is, but imagine you now, like you've been drinking coffee for how long?
It's been since the beginning of my, I think, early 20s.
Yeah, so imagine someone
Then
said
I
that,
remember like it started giving me that jolts of energy, and like it kind of creeped into my routine
yeah,
slowly. Yeah. I wasn't even aware at certain point that I'm drinking this much amount of coffee. Like somebody from the uh, other people would have to tell me that okay, it's being too much now. Usually, it was my mom, or like somebody who's working with me. They'd see that much amount of coffee,
I
and
mean,
the
I'm seeing
the
it, dude.
energy that I would carry. That would like okay, that's when I realized okay that it's getting too much now.
Yeah, when you told me you went camping,
Yeah,
right? Did you
yeah.
have any coffee out there?
Oh no coffee. Yeah. And survived without it actually. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's because you're out in the wild and
Yeah.
your your cycle or your circadian uh thing it
Yeah. Yeah.
reset, and so when you had no coffee then,
And
right?
actually, it was easier to get up in the morning without it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't
Uh,
you want that feeling again?
it happened naturally. Yes. 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 I
Yeah.
do, bro. I want it so bad. Uh, but I think gradually I'll have to start doing that. Be at an environment where there isn't anything.
Yeah.
No devices, no electricity.
I mean, that's also a reason why people take vacations, it's to get away from. And vacation, if you think about it, it's not really like a, I guess it is a vacation because you're going back to, usually most people when they have vacations, right? It's,
Yeah.
somewhere either in the forest or in the tropics, somewhere away from the city, right?
Yeah.
And vacation, I think, really means like going back to being a regular human, not no
Yeah. Yeah.
coffee, no electricity, just
Uh,
you and nature, and then maybe some alcohol, you know? But
Uh, I actually made an agenda before going that okay, this is like I had an idea that okay, I don't want to keep anything on my mind. You know, when I'm there, I
yeah,
don't want to be occupied all the time. I don't want to be occupied. Uh, and it's a good feeling. It's a very relieving feeling. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, what I want to ask now is when you were off coffee for that, how long were you camping for or in the cabin?
I it was 28 days, 28 days straight up. Yeah, without it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I pulled it off though. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you did it, you can definitely do it again. But
Yeah, yeah.
what
I'm.
was it? What was it like again having that first sip of coffee?
Uh, oh my God, that was a heaven,
Yeah.
heaven. Yep. Uh, but no, it's only blonde and part of my morning routine. That's it.
No,
Uh,
but explain to, I guess, help me understand.
so
What happened when you had the first? Was it more crazy or
I'll take you through the stages. Okay, there are
yeah?
like couple of stages that you pass
Mm-hmm.
if you are like dependent on caffeine. It starts with it usually starts when you want to start your schedule in the morning, especially early.
Yeah.
I I like I like to start things very fast and very with a boost,
Mm-hmm.
and then I kind of slow it down when I'm in the middle of it. But yeah, in the beginning I want to take it fast always.
Yeah,
That's
me
how
too.
it started. Yeah, that's how it started. Uh, then what happened is when you'll have a break between the work, that's where it will come back again. After the break, I want to start things back up again with the boost. Uh, then in the evening, I'll need one more boost before I finish that one off. And that will keep me going till about 9. And right before I go to sleep, that's where I'll have another one. That was like the part of my day. Yeah. And then I would go to sleep actually, having coffee in the system.
Really?
That was that's the bad. That's how bad it can go. Like you can even sleep having it.
Yeah. So your body is not even.
Yeah, it won't even register it.
Yeah. It's just like,
Uh, yeah,
what
it's
the?
very bad.
Holy shit.
And when you try to get off of it, that's where you feel like there's nothing to live for. Almost, it's like that, because you feel chaotic all the time. Your ideas, your thoughts, it seems all over the place. And when
Yeah.
you have it kind of that's how I used to feel that it aligns. It becomes more faster. My execution becomes more. It comes very quickly to me.
Yeah.
that's that's how I started noticing that okay, it's getting to my work now, where it's controlling my work, where it's controlling the pace of my work.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. It was like, no, I should be able to control the pace, and I should be able to control the focus. Yeah, that's when I started. When you start getting aware of it, that it's controlling you, it's controlling your focus, it's
Mm-hmm.
controlling like almost every aspect of your thinking and your moods. That's that's where you will get off of it. The
Yeah.
first thing is realization. I think as soon as you realize it, that it's controlling you,
Yeah.
you will get off of it. Like the idea will emerge that okay,
Yeah. It
time.
comes like, I don't know. I'm so used to living in the organized chaos. You
Yeah,
know, for
yeah,
me, focusing on one thing is kind of, I don't know, it's boring to me. I like that my idea is just
yeah,
fucking like, if I was in this room and my ideas were bouncy balls, there'd be fucking bouncy balls everywhere. But
yeah,
occasionally I'll catch a ball. I'm like, oh yeah, that idea. I'll work on it and throw it away. Catch another ball. Oh yeah, that idea, and I'll keep working on it. It's
yeah.
scattered. Sometimes it doesn't work, but
And
yeah,
then
it's crazy.
gradually you start getting your focus back again, and then when you realize that okay, you can do without, you can handle it without the coffee. Yeah, it will take a time. You'll have to be a little patience with it. uh, but it can happen actually. If you really want to get off of it, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also what we need to start doing
Yeah.
is because everyone is so coffee crazed and so productivity phased, it's, yeah, I don't know. I think we need to slow down.
Yeah, I think
Everyone
in
just needs to slow down, you know?
corporate culture, it's a more of a nuisance in the corporate culture. Like they're having it all day. Whenever I see them, they're having, like in India too, in Indian
Yeah.
corporate culture, yeah, I would see them having teas and nicotine at the same time, caffeine and nicotine.
Yeah. When they say the city doesn't sleep, you know,
It's really not sweet.
coffee
Yeah,
is what did that. Coffee is what made these cities not sleep, and
yeah,
that's why these cities are so fucking productive. We're so fast. Everything's fast paced. Blah blah blah. Like, and if you're in these cities and you're not keeping pace, you're gonna get left behind.
behind.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and which is, you know, if that's how you want to live, go ahead, live fast and hard. But I,
and
for
in
me,
class,
it's about
like
slowing
when
down.
when we grab a script or something, when I want to start getting, when I want to get started on a script or with ideas, it's like I would start it after having a coffee, after having that like jolt of caffeine.
Yeah.
In that span of time, I would go for it. So
Did
I
you have
wouldn't.
coffee before this?
Uh, do I what?
Did you have coffee before this?
No, no, I haven't had coffee yet. No, no.
Okay. You
Uh,
seem still like
yeah, I still
active though. Yeah, yeah.
energetic. Right? Yeah, yeah. I can. Just by talking about it actually gets me all excited.
You like after this,
Yeah.
yeah, the
Uh,
coffee.
yeah, that's where I realized that it has certain kind of power on me, and then I started getting off of it.
Yeah, that's good
And
that
it
you're
sort of
self-aware.
limits your possibilities too. Because with caffeine, you always think uptake about material, about whatever it's going on. Sometimes you miss the reality of the material too,
Yeah,
actually. Yeah, if the script doesn't demand that much amount of energy, it's more contained, more uh, more controlled, then then it then that's what's necessary. Like you don't need to have it. Yeah, it's like with Sherlock Holmes. If imagine Benedict Cumberbatch having a coffee and doing the scene,
yeah,
the character is already going all over the place, and on the top of that, you put something like caffeine in there that will make it more intense,
yeah. It'll
more
be,
intense than necessary. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, those kind of effects kind of got me off of it, where it was starting to kind of limit my possibilities about the material and my thinking. That's where I was like, okay, yeah, it's not just affecting my moods and stuff, but it's also like limiting the possibilities of me thinking about things.
Do you
Where I
think
need
you
to,
could ever get off of it?
like totally for like forever.
I don't know, cause it's one of those things, right? Cause I mean, alcohol is literally poison, but we
Yeah,
drink it all the time.
yeah.
And caffeine, it's a legal drug, so of course, like, why not do it? You know, and
It's like in the right amount, it would do wonders for you. It will keep your heart healthy.
yeah.
It will give you like necessary B vitamins, that you need.
Why don't you try to look? I'm not trying to recommend you change your whole
Yeah,
life or anything, but have you thought about trying green tea instead of coffee
I
or
tried green.
tea?
I tried green tea.
Oh, you don't.
It's hard to get love with it.
Yeah,
But I can. I started drinking those Earl Greys.
you should try. I don't I don't know if they have it in LA, but there's this place here in Boston called David's Tea, something
Hmm.
like that. And in the shop, there's like 100 different teas,
Yeah,
you know. And I don't know, maybe I don't know. Try to find a place that like
yeah.
specializes in teas
I
and
keep myself away from tea. It's like because of have you ever had Indian tea? Did I make you Indian tea anytime?
I think you have once.
Once, right?
Yeah, I think once. Yeah,
Uh,
it's
Indian
with
tea,
milk, right? And
yeah, it's with milk. Indian tea is more addictive than coffee
yeah,
because with caffeine, it has a taste. You
yeah,
know, it has a certain taste which you get addicted to. Coffee is it's just about the energy. It will just give you the energy. It's for some people it might be
yeah.
about the
Some people it's taste.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's the taste, but they're like if there are that kind of people, they're very less. They're not like a lot of them who
yeah.
would just go for
I think that might be the problem though. I
yeah,
think if people learn to enjoy coffee, then it
yeah,
won't be. It would be
yeah,
more like al. Well, it's the same thing with alcohol. There are people who drink it for the taste to
and
sip, and then there are some people who just
yeah, drink it for
I think it's the same thing with coffee, like I think if you can learn how to enjoy it just like alcohol, then I think you would be better. Because if you're
better.
drinking it just to fucking,
Yeah,
get that energy or to get drunk, basically,
yeah.
it's almost the same thing as being an alcoholic. I'm not calling
It's
you an
like
alcoholic, but
coffee addict before I became before there was a possibility of me becoming a tea addict. So that was a
yeah,
good thing because that addiction who is one of the worst. It's like you cannot get a person to function without it.
yeah,
Indian, yeah, it's one of the worst addiction ever actually,
yeah,
and it's harsh. It's harsh. It's raw sometimes.
yeah.
It
I'm pretty sure I tried it once and I don't think I
Yeah,
liked it. I don't remember.
it's one of the worst addiction. If you have like addiction of like that, and they boil it, they boil it. It's raw, and in India you get it fresh. You get it like in huge potencies. The potency is like immense. Uh, yeah, and that's why I kept myself away from teas actually.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I don't know. Try some
yeah.
Asian teas. I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
really wanted to try some
I mean,
Asian.
you are Asian, but like East Asian, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Continental teas
yeah,
actually.
like Japanese
Yeah.
or um, fuck Chinese teas. Maybe some Japanese teas. I think you should try some Japanese teas.
There are some good like Chinese leaves as well. The tea leaves. I don't know the names,
Yeah.
but it's supposed to be super rich in antioxidants. I've heard. Yeah.
I mean, it is. Yeah, I've had. I mean, Chinese tea. You have it all the time during dim sum and stuff, or almost
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
Chinese restaurant you go to. You can get some tea. And
Yeah.
it's really strong. So that's why I recommend for you if you wanted to try it. Try
Yeah.
try some Japanese teas. They're most of from the ones that I had. They're more mellow. But I don't know. Try to find a place like David's Tea where there's like
David's,
hundreds of different teas, and you just go in there
and you can try
and
them.
yeah, they can give you little samples too.
Okay.
You can just try all, but you tell them it's kind of like buying weed. You go in there,
Okay.
like what kind of symptoms you're looking for, or
It's a tea.
how
Okay.
much you want to do. It's almost the same thing,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're selecting an option. I don't know if try
No,
it and
I think yeah, I need to go into that direction a little bit. I can, yeah, actually
yeah,
explore the tea side of it.
dude, because this isn't my first time seeing you with your eyes, dude. The circles under your eyes, or you got
Uh,
fucking Louis Vuittons there, man. The fucking
I
expensive
didn't. I
bags.
I haven't got like good amount of sleep in the last week. Yep.
Yeah. Do you look? I'm. We won't ask anything too personal on air,
Yeah.
but do you think it might have had to do with coffee at all? And
No, no, no. It's just my schedule. My schedule is messed up. It's like three things are happening at the same
you
time.
should go back to the forest.
Yeah, I think so. But no, my classes are starting again, so
Yeah.
that will
Oh,
like
so you're like
put me
fixing
in the
your schedule.
cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, yeah.
I understand what that is.
I'm like in transition right now, like going from hectic to reducing it, and making it more organized. And that will actually work will make me organize things. I'll have to get more sleep for me to wake up in the morning and show up to the places that I need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, otherwise I won't be able to do it, and that's the one thing I cannot uh take from myself. Like I have to be there, and I have to be there. Oh my God. But yeah, you are right. I might look tired. My voice might sound tired because I haven't had a good amount of water yet. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's well, you can go get a drink of water. I would like to thank you for your time. This was an
All right.
amazing conversation about coffee, cause
Yeah.
or I mean, even just in general, addiction and uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
you
tough.
have brought it up kind of at the very right time. I'm right now watching these documentaries on Netflix about opioids. If you remember, I might have asked you like a couple of weeks or months ago about what's going on with opioids in Boston. Uh,
Yeah, and yeah, when you told me that, I was like, I don't know anybody who does opiates or
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Uh, Opiates is something that I think it's a very major issue, and there are like certain litigators or people who are fighting it from the Boston. Boston has a good history of this prosecutors who do amazing work, huh? Fu?
I mean, we have almost the most history out of the entire United States.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, we got a lot of shit happening here.
I'm still learning more things about Boston. But watch those documentaries if you can. Opioids is another thing, man.
On
I can't.
Netflix?
No, it's on HBO. It's called The Crime of the Century.
Prime Essential. Okay, I'll check it
Yeah,
out on HBO.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, I'll let you get back to your day. I'd like to thank you again for coming
No,
on to the show, and
it was amazing. I always like to reflect on my coffee situation. Uh, it keeps me in the check. Uh, it keeps me thinking about it
yeah,
and where I need to keep it in control.
yeah. Well, you're one of my greatest friends and ongoing guests, so I'm sure you'll be back, and we'll talk
I will.
more about
I
whatever.
love to talk with you, Fu. Really,
Yeah, me too. Yeah, we've always had great
one of the
conversations, and
most productive conversations that I have is, I think, with you right now,
yeah,
and intellectual as well.
yeah.
The way you reflect things are going in amazing direction right now, and I
uh,
can't be more happy for you, actually.
yeah, it's all because I started starving myself. But okay. All right, man. Thanks again, and
You take care, my man. Okay.
goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, guys.